Sophie was a firm believer in science. As a science major in college, she trusted in the principles of physics, chemistry, and biology to explain the world around her. If something couldn't be measured, observed, or quantified, it simply didn't exist in her mind. Sophie found comfort in the predictability of scientific laws and the precision of equations that described the universe. One late night, Sophie walked into the college library to work on a research paper that had been consuming her thoughts for weeks. The library was quiet, its towering shelves filled with books that represented centuries of human knowledge. As she made her way to her usual study spot, something on the wall caught her eye. A colorful poster for the upcoming International Day of Peace on September 21st, 2024. Sophie paused in front of the poster, reading the words printed in bold letters. It called for people to take action, to do something meaningful to promote peace in the world. The poster urged everyone to download the peace mantra only on the app called Mantra Beats. Their motto, changing the world's frequency. A part of Sophie longed to contribute to such a noble cause. After all, she cared deeply about the well-being of others and the future of the planet. But then, as always, the familiar doubt crept in.
Sure, I want to do something to help create world peace, Sophie thought to herself. But what can I really do? I'm just one person. And what does peace even mean in scientific terms? It's not like it can be measured or calculated.
With a sigh, Sophie turned away from the poster and settled into her seat at a secluded table. She spread out her notes, opened her laptop, and began typing furiously, trying to focus on her research. Hours passed, the library growing quieter as other students left for the night. Eventually, Sophie's eyes grew heavy, and despite her best efforts to stay awake, she drifted off to sleep. In her dream, Sophie found herself in a strange place, a vast, starry expanse, as if she were floating in the depths of the cosmos. The stars shimmered around her, forming patterns and constellations she had never seen before. Suddenly, one of the stars began to glow brighter, expanding until it took the form of an elderly man with wild white hair and a kind, knowing smile. Sophie stared in disbelief.
Albert Einstein?
The figure nodded.
Yes, Sophie, it's me, or rather a part of me, my essence, my spirit.
But why are you here?
Sophie asked, her voice filled with both awe and confusion. Einstein's smile deepened.
I'm here because you seek answers, Sophie. You believe in science, in the power of observation and measurement. That's good. It's important to understand the world in those terms. But there is something more, something beyond the equations and theories.
What do you mean? Science explains everything, doesn't it?
Einstein's expression grew thoughtful.
Science explains much, but not all. During my life, I sought to understand the forces that govern the universe. Gravity, electromagnetism, the fundamental interactions that shape reality.
He paused, looking deeply into Sophie's eyes.
But there is one force more powerful than any other, that science has yet to fully comprehend. A force that transcends all others and holds the key to the peace you seek.
What is it?
Love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. It exerts its power over all things, both material and immaterial. Love is gravity, for it draws people together, binding them in ways that defy logic and reason. Love is peace, for it calms the storms of the heart and mind and spreads its influence far and wide.
Sophie listened, mesmerized and slightly skeptical.
But love isn't something you can measure or prove scientifically. It's an emotion, not a physical force.
Einstein nodded, his expression gentle.
You are right. It cannot be measured in the same way we measure gravity or electromagnetism. Not yet, anyway. But that does not make it any less real or any less powerful. One day, science will find a way to understand it, to quantify its effects. But for now, it is something we must feel and spread, trusting in its power to change the world.
Sophie felt a warmth spreading through her, a lightness in her chest as if Einstein's words were filling her with a new energy.
This September 21st, Sophie, is your opportunity. You may think you are just one person, but love does not require an army. It starts with one heart, one act, and then it spreads, touching others, multiplying in strength. If you choose to spread peace through love, science will have no choice but to stand in awe of its effects. And one day, science will need a new tool, a new measurement to quantify the power of love.
Sophie's skepticism began to melt away, replaced by a sense of wonder and possibility. She realized that perhaps there were forces at work in the universe that science had not yet fully understood. And perhaps, just perhaps, she could be a part of something much greater than herself.
Thank you.
She whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Einstein smiled, his form beginning to fade back into the stars.
Remember, Sophie, love is the answer. Go forth and spread it.
Sophie awoke in the light of hope, the library around her glowing in the early morning light. But she no longer felt the heavy weight of doubt. Instead, she felt a burning resolve, a new sense of purpose. This September 21st, Sophie will do more than just think about peace. She will meditate on peace. And in doing so, she will be contributing to a force that science would one day recognize as the most powerful of all. As she left the library, Sophie felt a quiet certainty in her heart. She was no longer just one person. She was part of something much larger, a force that could change the world's frequency.